Hello, this is Stephen now, and yes, we're back with another Batman 66 episode review. Today, we'll be reviewing the episode, The Duo is Slumming. So, without further ado, let's get into the review. When we last left the dynamic duo, they were trapped in an air balloon which is soaring above into the air, and by the time we reach a certain altitude, the cage will open and they will fall to their death. Now, the dynamic duo managed to get out of the death trap by using a piece of chewing gum by one of the puzzler's men, which they used to block the emitter that is censoring how far they're going up in the air. And Robin also uses his bird whistles to aggravate a crow to punch holes into the air balloon, which results in them to slowly come towards towards the ground, not dying. They then get themselves untied and head to the puzzler's headquarters. When they get there, the puzzler uses a bunch of balloons to make his escape. What do I mean by that? Watch the episode to find out. As this is happening, we find out that the puzzler's female accomplice has knocked Artemis Canab out with some drugged tea, or as he calls it, oolong, and then they go through the files in his wall to find the plans for the aeroplane. But before the puzzler leaves, he leaves behind a puzzle. We then go to Police Commissioner Gordon's office, where another puzzle is there, a rooster, along with a puzzle. Batman manages to deduce that he must be referring to Artemis Canab and head to his apartment, where he finds Artemis Canab unconscious, wake him up, and take another puzzle that has been left by the puzzler. They then take it to the Batcave, scan it, and manage to solve it by essentially calling up the puzzler's phone number. We then cut to find out that the puzzler plans to steal the aeroplane, the Red Saw, and sell it back to Artemis Canab for a couple million. Just as that's happening, Batman calls him up, and the puzzler leaves him with another puzzle, then hangs up. The Batman and Robin manage to deduce the answer to the puzzle and head to the location. The puzzler and his men, thanks to the help of their female accomplice, distracts the guards and are about to fly off. But Batman and Robin are there in time and a bat fight breaks out. Now, I like this bat fight, to be all honest. I find it well choreographed and well fun. The puzzler and his female accomplice make their escape, but are quickly caught by not just Batman and Robin, but Commissioner Gordon, Chief O'Hara, and the police department, who happen to walk in. The puzzler is then arrested. We then end the episode with Aunt Harriet and Alfred buying the balloons to essentially give to the orphans of the Wayne Foundation. And we end this very meek episode on a happy note with for the promotions for next week, Batman and Robin are going up against the Catwoman and a brand new main villain. To understand that, you have to watch next week's review. Just like with the previous episode, with the main cast, nothing here really changes. Everything is just too ordinary. Other than that, it's pretty bland. And that really shouldn't be with the main cast. But then again, they're not really doing something new with the main cast to be interesting. And Harriet's little scene at the end of the episode is okay, and definitely at least a little bit of a highlight, but it's kind of pale in comparison when pretty much I feel everyone is not really being that invested and involved. Anyway, let's get on to the puzzler, shall we? The puzzler is truly a knockoff villain from the get-go. Everything about him just screams knockoff. Not only is he clearly meant to be a stand-in for everyone's favorite villain, the Riddler, it's clear that his MO is also pretty much a carbon copy. Instead of calling them riddles, we call them puzzles. However, I can't deny that I do find him being Shakespearean quote a little bit interesting, and the Flair favorite aviation's pretty good. But however, I will not deny he is a rather bland villain, and I can see why after this two-parter he was never brought back. Then again, I don't think he was ever planned to be. He was just a stand-in for the Riddler. Also, I will admit, what makes him different from other villains, others either have a personal vendetta, like we've seen with pretty much nearly every villain, with a few exceptions. However, the puzzler is different. He's just plain greedy. But I do like how he's a bit of an honourable side, which makes him a little bit interesting, yet not that much. Again, I think Evans, hopefully that last name's being pronounced right, is doing the best he can with a rather weak and uninteresting villain. And it's not just that he's a knockoff in both his MO, he's a knockoff in both plot. Let's see, he has a woman who wants to be a movie star. We've seen that with the Riddler in Season 1. He also clearly wants to steal something from a rich person and then ransom it back. The Riddler did that with Van Jones with the silent films. He is a clear knockoff. I'm not surprised this villain ever came back. And to be honest, I really wish that what they could have done is just simply did what they did later in the season. And that is, Riddler did come back later this season, though Frank Gorshin did not play him. What they should have done was just recast him just for this season, and maybe when season 3 rolled around, bring back Frank Gorshin, a temporary person to play the Riddler for this season. They should have just done that. But it is what it is. I know it sounds like a bit angry, and I'm trying not to be, because I know this actor, who is phenomenal, he's just trying to work with a very weak script, and arguably a very weak villain, who is clearly a carbon copy Riddler, a poor man's Riddler. And that's all I can say. He never comes back after this. However, we do get a very interesting cameo. We get Santa Claus in the window cameo. He was portrayed by a very phenomenal, that's a phenomenal character actor at the time. And, of course, he was so big, they brought him on because it is, because this was 66. Everyone knew that. I like that they did. I like the little cameo. It's fun and interesting. And I was shocked to have Santa Claus pop up. But then again, that's what the show has its charm with. The Duo is Slumming is a pretty average to weak episode. It's kind of passable, but even you watch, you know the Riddler was meant to appear in it. The Duo is Slumming, just like the puzzles are coming are just pretty much average. And there we have it. That was the review of The Duo is Slumming. Just average week episodes. But next week's, we're in for something. For the first time ever, we'll get 2 villains for the price of 1. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, stick around for next time. Until then, this has been the Steven Hour. Tune in next time to the same Steven channel. And ladies and gentlemen, so long for now.